Welcome to this BB Education cutting tutorial. Today's tutorial, we're going to be using a razor to achieve this short pixie cut. We're going to be working with a short uniform layer, but we're going to be keeping length traveling over the ear and around the nape, just to create a softness and a nice adaptation to the original short uniform layer. We're going to start at the back, and we're going to start by creating a profile section. So we need to take a small amount of hair from the left hand side and from the right hand side to create a center profile section. The section is vertical, so the section will go from top to bottom profile. So here we have our profile section. This essentially is section 1 for our cutting. So everything will begin from this section. Essentially, our distribution or choice of cut line is uniformed, which means we're going to follow the head shape. So working uniform simply means there's no increase or decrease in the cut line from the top of the section at the crown to the bottom of the section just above the skirt section. So when we lift the section up, we are always going to work T to the parting. This simply means that the hair is not being moved side to side. We have our razor with a fresh blade in it. We're using a simple designer razor, which means it has a guard on the actual blade itself, which is just better for safety. You see here, as I'm razoring the section, I elevated it, held the tension high, and I razored below my fingers. This is just to ensure that we're cutting the area that has the tension, as the razor will glide more effectively. But as I lift the section up, each time, remember, we're working T to the parting. So we're not moving the roots side to side as we're cutting. We're following the head shape to ensure that the lengths are the same with each of these sections. You'll see it's taken me 3 different attempts to complete this section. This is so that we're not taking the section too big, because if we are, undoubtedly, you'll be over-directing the section, elongating how the length travels, whereas here you can see the lengths are the same. We now remove section 1. We remove section 1 and we take section 3, meaning that we are only using a small amount of section 2 as the guide. This is just to ensure that whilst the sections are pivoting, that we don't have more than one guideline. Remember, the guideline should always come from the top of the profile section. So we don't want to be over directing the hair to try to find a guideline, but just pulling the hair straight out from the profile section as it pivots from the top, ensuring that we're not getting an increase in length traveling to behind the ear. As we move on to the final section, you'll see we're keeping everything exactly the same. We're not moving the root side to side or up and down. We're just pulling it directly out from where it comes from and then raising the length, connecting into the profile section. This will just ensure we have consistency with our uniform shape. No increase or decrease travelling horizontally or vertically. Once complete, we can now retake section 1 in preparation for cutting the other side. Remember, all the sections will pivot, so we'll pivot directly from 1 to create section 2. Remember, we're not over directing, it's being pulled out directly from its base and connected into the guideline we've already set with the previous profile section. Notice how my body position is still the same. I'm still stood on the same side of the head I was cutting the right hand side. This is to ensure consistency. Each section I've cut, I've started at the top and I've followed the section down until the base of the section. If my body position changed, I would be cutting from the bottom and working directly to the top. It doesn't seem like a big deal, but it will directly affect your balance. So maintain the same body position working throughout. Don't be switching your body position around, as this could vary the lengths in the result. So here we have the shape at the back. What the uniform layer gives us is no corners, no real shape building up, but just a really great start to this shape. A nice textured, loose pixie cut. We can now start at the side. But when we look at the side, we need to give ourselves a guideline to ensure we know what to save lengthwise. We're going to take a curved diagonal back section, working from a higher point at the front to a lower point at the back. We're going to give ourselves a guideline here. We're going to choose a length that we want to keep. So we pull the hair down, holding with high tension, slightly over directing forward, and we're going to raise it into the lengths to create our line. So you choose a length that's appropriate to your client and to your outcome. Here I've decided to work to just above the jawline. As I raise this length across, it gives me an accurate guideline to ensure I don't take the sides too short when I'm connecting in the back to the front. At the back, we were able to disconnect the lengths. At the front, as the section is much smaller, it's going to be much more difficult to do that. So what we do instead is we just give ourselves a guideline, and then as we're bringing in the shorter lengths from the back, we know when to curve away and when to keep length based upon the chosen guideline you're creating now. We then start the side, taking a small section vertical from the side section. We're then going to take a section from the back as well. This will work as our guideline. So we take a small vertical section from the back. This will be how we've already cut, so the lengths are established. So here we have the section we've already cut from the back and the section yet to be cut at the side. We're going to work with no other direction, so the section we're about to cut will be pulled directly out from its own base. We then remove the section we just used as the guideline, working consistent in the same way we worked at the back. We now take our new section. We'll be using the previously cut section as a guideline, working forward. We're continuing in the same manner, starting from the top, coming all the way down, no other direction, always removing the previous section. So remain consistent and remain clean with your sections. One of the positives of numbering your sections as we do is to ensure that you cut the same amount of sections on one side to the other, maintaining consistency on every area you can. And here we have the end result, a soft adaptation to working with a uniform layer. We've used a razor to help us create a more textured and softer result. We've elongated the outline to diversify our approach. We really hope you've enjoyed this cutting tutorial, and we hope to see you again soon.